Greetings, Awesomes again. Third video this week. I was kind of on a roll, so I thought I'd just kind of keep going here. So I want to talk a little bit about groups and the two-component report in general, especially as it applies to this week's project plan memo and what all needs to go in there. So I thought we'd just we'd have a brief discussion about that real quick. So I'll minimize here. All right, so I pulled up the project plan memo. Right here, you get to it through the course materials in the week 7 folder. And so, of course, I want to kind of focus a little bit, at least in this video, the importance of course, as you guys this week are responding to brainstorming ideas, the kind of things that you would want to be interested in, and then perhaps either emailing each other, or you got 4 to 6 people you can get together, and you know who those people are going to be. You can send me an email, and we'll start putting all that stuff together throughout the week as I've discussed. And so you're going to be kind of working towards this assignment prompt here. So if there's 4 to 6 of you, the 4 to 6 of you can work together to create this project plan in the form of a memo written to me. All right, so what that means is if there are 4 of you, 5 of you, or 6 of you working on this together, you will submit 1 memo. Okay, so just FYI. So the purpose of your plan, right, is what you're going to get across in this memo. You have a viable project for your technical report and a group of 4 to 6 students. That you've identified audiences, both primary and secondary, for your technical report. That you have identified preliminary research sources toward the completion of your technical report. Then you've established a timetable for the successful completion of your project, including a required draft review by me. So the topic, right, and we've discussed this a little bit. You guys are looking at these right now. Best projects are based around problems that students have real access to information about. And that is kind of what's key in looking at these. And as I said, I did review them and read them this morning. And I found that a lot of you are really thinking about a lot of things that are going on. Of course, obviously with the majority of the students in this class on the College of Engineering, a lot of you had issues with the temperature, and I can quite relate to that, especially this week, being driven from my apartment due to uncomfortable situations. So I understand that it got up to like 92 degrees in my apartment last Thursday and Friday, and just I couldn't get it to get below 90 degrees. So if anybody out there is in Roy understands the window situation there. So anyway, so there might be some commonality right there. And I also noticed a lot of you had mentioned access to certain types of foods, healthier foods, etc. on campus, right? I thought those were some really good ideas. So a lot of those ideas have to do with things on campus. Not that you have to do something on campus, but perhaps the access to the information might be a little more beneficial. Anyway, or hopefully organize around some of those, and I'll be looking at those as well as we group. All right, so here's the organization of the plan, right? So you've got the topic, you got the organization. All right, so remember, as we're kind of learning about technical communication, especially that in a memo form, you have the word memo at the top of this document, and then you would have 2, which would be me, and then from would be the 4 to 6 individuals, right? And then in your introduction, right, so you would clearly state, you used to clearly have a heading for introduction, and then you identify the problem that you want to research, the 4 to 6 students in your group, audiences, 3 probable audiences for your technical report project. So for example, if you were going to, let's say, address College of Engineering air conditioning issue, or if you were going to address the food issue, right, you're going to be talking about students. You're going to be talking about perhaps at least 2 other audiences within the university, because you would also have not only the people that make the decisions, but then those who would then carry them out. So you might have a couple of levels there, or a couple of different sections or areas of people that have to look at this before it's approved. So you might have the President's Office, and administration, and then you might have facilities and processing, or facilities and planning management. I think is what they call that office here on campus. So those are ideas to get you thinking about probable audiences. Think about all the people that would want to read your report or need to read your report to help either A, make a decision, B, to persuade them that it's feasible, and to demonstrate that you have empirical research, depending on which report that you're doing, right? So you've got that idea to think about, and so you have your third subheading, or your third heading would be purpose. Why is it important for these audiences to resolve this problem? Then you have primary and secondary research. Primary research is always generally you're going to be talking directly with somebody, as opposed to secondary research, which is generally going to be you're going to either look at other data, you're looking at articles. You might be looking at previously done research about the topic. Also in primary research could be you're talking to the students that you speak with. Maybe you're going to survey some students about the issue or whatever. Or other instructors or other faculty, administration, things of that nature. Okay, and then you might have a timetable here. For both your research and completion of your project. You might want to think about these, how you might think about these things for your, when you're going to get them done, right? We're getting down, we're halfway done, and so here are some ideas that you might put a project together, like for example, this one says May 26th to June 1st. You're going to take notes on this article, draft a survey, email survey, interview people, etc., etc. So as this is a collaborative work assignment, for your two-component report. Include a team plan, what kinds of technologies. I know this is really preliminary, but perhaps at this time, try to email people back and forth and get an idea of what roles they might be interested in taking and where maybe their strengths lie. If you've got maybe one of your members is right on campus, they might take more of the primary research role, and someone who can't get to campus or someone's not in the country right now might take on the role of writing the introduction and writing some other types of section that they're able to do because they are not right here. So take those things into consideration. And then how are you going to address accountability? So let me know how you're thinking about these kinds of things. You can refer to Chapter 19 and these ranges of pages as some supporting text, and try to 2 to 3 pages in the memo format. And if you do have sources, make sure you cite them in APA style. And let's see, anything else I want to make sure to talk about? Make sure, like I said before, introduction, audiences. I do expect to see all these here in the italics. I don't expect you to use italics necessarily in your memo, but I expect to see these types of headings in your project plan. So, all right, so put myself back up here at full screen. So this week for the two-component, as we're progressing towards the two-component report, this is kind of phase 1 of that, and that is grouping up 4 to 6 students. And as I mentioned earlier, you'll use some of the feedback that you're in the brainstorming, looking at the brainstorming ideas from several of your fellow students and what they've posted. And you might contact them and be contacting me about starting to put your groups together and working towards a project plan memo. So remember, in this, as we go through this, the project plan memo will be one document that will be sent to me for your group. The next document that comes in is a project progress report that will be individual, and then the final two-component report itself will just, again, there be one document. Okay, so I think it can be more enjoyable and more interesting the more people that there are, and you guys can divide the work, divide and conquer, and you can make more interesting projects that way. All right, I didn't mean for that video to take that long, but wanted to discuss those things. I thought it would be good to have that information this week especially. So hope that was beneficial and helpful. So I will sign off now. I'll probably come up with some more stuff as you guys start to put things together group-wise and things like that. Maybe I'll come up with some more information later on this week and be in contact with you. So have a great week. If there's anything I can do for you, please do let me know. Bye now.